Nnenna's hand shook as she held the small clay pot. Inside was the last dose of agwundu, the medicine of life. Enough to save one person. Only one. In the room to her left, her daughter Adaeze lay dying, her skin burning with fever, her breath coming in shallow gasps. In the room to her right, Chief Okonkwo's only son, Chukwuebuka, fought the same battle against death. The entire village of Umuahia stood outside Nnenna's compound, waiting. Watching. Praying. Mama. Adaeze's voice cracked from the left room. Mama, please. Nnenna stumbled toward her daughter's room, the pot trembling in her grip. Adaeze was 17, with her father's eyes and her grandmother's fierce spirit. She lay on a mat, her body convulsing. I'm here, NWAM. I'm here. Nnenna knelt beside her, pressing a cool cloth to her forehead. The medicine, Adaeze whispered, her eyes struggling to focus. You have it? Yes. Then give it to me. Please, Mama. I don't want to die. Nnenna's heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. She opened her mouth to speak, but Adaeze grabbed her wrist with surprising strength. Wait. Adaeze's breath rattled. Is the chief's son still alive? Yes. Then you can't give it to me. Nnenna froze. What? The chief's son. If he dies, who will lead us when his father is gone? Who will protect the village? Adaeze coughed violently, blood specking her lips. I'm just one girl. He is the future of Umuahia. You are my future. Nnenna's voice rose to a scream. You are my only child. I won't let you die. Mama, listen to me. Adaeze's grip tightened. You are the village herbalist. Everyone depends on you to make the right choice, not the selfish one. Selfish? Tears streamed down Nnenna's face. It's not selfish to save your own child. It is when saving me dooms the entire village. Outside, Elder Nwankwo's voice boomed. Nnenna. We must speak with you. Everyone turned. Adaeze stood in the doorway, her body swaying, held upright only by sheer will. She looked like a ghost, her wrapper soaked with sweat, her eyes sunken but blazing with determination. Adaeze, get back inside. Nnenna rushed to her, but Adaeze held up a trembling hand. I want to speak. The crowd fell silent. Adaeze's voice was barely audible, but every word carried weight. My mother will not give me the medicine. I won't allow it. Adaeze, no. Nnenna sobbed. Mama, listen. Adaeze swayed, and 2 women rushed forward to steady her. When I was small, you told me what it means to be a healer. You said a healer doesn't just cure bodies. A healer makes choices that help the most people, even when those choices break your heart. That's not fair to ask of you, Nnenna wept. Life isn't fair. But it is what it is. Adaeze looked at the crowd, at the elders, at the frightened children. If I take that medicine and the chief's son dies, what happens to Umuahia? Who protects us when the neighboring villages come to take our land? Who negotiates when drought comes? One life for many lives. That's not a hard choice. That's the only choice. You're 17 years old, Nnenna said, her voice breaking. You're my baby. You don't have to be this brave. Yes, I do. Because you raised me to be. Adaeze smiled weakly. Take the medicine to Chukwuebuka. Let me go knowing I saved my village. The crowd stood frozen, many openly weeping. Elder Nwankwo bowed his head. Your daughter has more wisdom than men twice her age. But Nnenna clutched the pot tighter. I can't. I won't. There has to be another way. There is no other way, Mama. Adaeze's legs gave out, and she collapsed. The women caught her, lowering her gently to the ground. Adaeze. Nnenna fell beside her, cradling her daughter's head. Adaeze's breathing was almost gone now. Her eyes fluttered closed. Promise me, Mama. Promise you'll give it to him. Promise my death means something. Nnenna couldn't speak. couldn't breathe. The pot felt like it weighed 1,000 stones. From the chief's room came a wail. He's not breathing. The chief's son has stopped breathing. Panic rippled through the crowd. Time was running out for both of them. Nnenna looked down at her dying daughter, then at the clay pot in her hands, then at the crowd of faces begging her to choose. How does a mother choose between her child and her duty? Between love and honor? Between her heart and her village? The sun beat down mercilessly. The entire world held its breath. And Nnenna had to decide. The herbalist's impossible choice. Nnenna's mind raced back to 17 years ago. The day Adaeze was born during a terrible storm. Lightning had split the sky, and thunder shook the earth. The midwife had said it was a sign that this child would bring great change. She will test you, the midwife had warned, placing the squalling infant in Nnenna's arms. This one carries the spirit of your ancestors. She will teach you what sacrifice truly means. Nnenna had laughed then, drunk on the joy of new motherhood. Now those words felt like a curse. Mama Nnenna. Chief Okonkwo himself emerged from his son's room. The great man looked aged beyond his years, his ceremonial beads clicking softly as he moved. Please. I am begging you as a father, not as your chief. Save my son. Nnenna looked up at him, tears blurring her vision. And what of my daughter, my chief? Do I not deserve the same mercy? You do. The chief's voice cracked. By the gods, you do. But I am asking anyway. I am begging you to break your own heart to save mine. That's not fair. The crowd gasped at this display. Chiefs did not kneel. I would give anything, everything I own, to not have to ask this of you. But my son is all that stands between this village and chaos. Elder Nwankwo spoke solemnly. 3 moons ago, the Nsukka warriors threatened our borders. Only Chief Okonkwo's promise that his son would marry their princess stopped the bloodshed. If Chukwuebuka dies, that alliance dies with him. War will come to Umuahia. Another voice joined in. My children will starve when the warriors burn our crops. My daughters will be taken, a woman cried. Our sons will die fighting, a father added. The weight of their words pressed down on Nnenna like stones. One life. Her daughter's life. Against hundreds of lives. Maybe thousands, if war came. Mom Ngozi knelt beside her, taking her hand. Sister of my heart, I know what I'm asking is evil. But sometimes we must choose which evil we can live with. I can't live with killing my daughter. Nnenna screamed. Then you'll live with killing all of ours, Mom Ngozi said gently. Adaeze stirred in Nnenna's arms, her eyes opening slightly. Mama. Do you remember the story you told me? About the woman who jumped into the river? Nnenna's breath hitched. She knew the story. Every herbalist knew it. It was the founding tale of their calling. 200 years ago, Adaeze whispered, her voice barely audible, there was a great sickness. A herbalist named Aloku had medicine for only one person. Her husband or the village chief. She chose the chief. Her husband died. She threw herself into the river from grief. But the river goddess blessed her sacrifice. She said that true healers must love all people more than they love themselves. That's why the river still gives us healing plants. Because of her sacrifice. That's just a story, Nnenna sobbed. All stories are true, Mama. That's what you taught me. Adaeze's hand found the clay pot. Her fingers, cold and trembling, closed over her mother's. Let me be like Aloku. Let my death mean something. Let the river goddess see me and bless our village. I want you alive, not blessed. But you can't have both. Adaeze coughed, and more blood came. Time was nearly gone. Mama, I'm dying anyway. This fever is too strong. Even if you give me the medicine right now, it might not work. I'm so far gone. But the chief's son still has strength. You know this. You're a healer. You know who has the better chance. Nnenna did know. She had seen Chukwuebuka an hour ago. His fever was high, but his body was still fighting. Adaeze's body was giving up. Even with the medicine, her chances were slim. But slim was not zero. Slim was still hopeful. I can't, Nnenna whispered. You must, Adaeze said. And Mama? When I'm gone, I need you to do something for me. Anything. Live. Don't throw yourself in the river like a loco. Live and heal people and tell them about me. Tell them I chose this. Tell them it was my choice, not yours. So you don't carry this guilt forever. I'll carry it anyway. I know. But carry it standing up, not drowning in the river. Adaeze smiled weakly. Promise me. Nnenna couldn't speak. Her throat was closed with grief. From the chief's room, another cry rang out. He's dying. Mama Nnenna, hurry. The crowd pressed closer, their desperation a physical force. Elder Nwankwo raised his staff. Nnenna, you must choose now. Both will die if you delay any longer. Nnenna looked down at her daughter. Adaeze's eyes were full of love, acceptance, and something else. Peace. Her 17-year-old daughter had found peace with death while Nnenna raged against it. You are the bravest person I've ever known, Nnenna whispered. I learned from you, Adaeze said. Now show me I learned right. Be brave, Mama. Be the healer the village needs. Chief Okonkwo emerged from his son's room, his face desperate. What is the third way? There's only enough medicine for one person. Then I will give them each half. Shocked silence. Then chaos erupted. That will kill them both. Elder Nwankwo roared. Half a dose is not enough. Mama Ngozi cried. You're condemning both of them, another voice shouted. Nnenna's hand stopped shaking. A strange calm settled over her. Maybe. But maybe the gods will see that I refuse to choose between my child and my duty. Maybe they will honor that faith. Faith? The elder's face twisted with rage. This is madness. You're gambling with both of their lives. Yes. And if I'm wrong, both die, and you can curse my name forever. But if I'm right. Nnenna looked at the crowd with fierce determination. If I'm right, you'll learn that sometimes the impossible choice isn't a choice at all. Sometimes there's a path we're too afraid to take. Chief Okonkwo grabbed her shoulders. You could save my son right now. Guarantee it. And you're going to risk his life on faith? Just as you asked me to risk my daughter's life on duty. Nnenna met his eyes without flinching. You wanted me to choose the greater good. Well, the greatest good is both of them living. So that's what I choose. This is foolish, Elder Nwankwo spat. Perhaps. But it's my choice to make. Nnenna pulled away from the chief and walked to where Adaeze lay in Mama Ngozi's arms. Her daughter's breathing was barely perceptible. Nnenna knelt, uncorked the pot, and carefully poured exactly half the medicine into a small calabash cup. Her hands were steady now. Certain. Forgive me, NWAM, she whispered. I'm trusting the ancestors to protect you. She lifted Adaeze's head gently and poured the half-dose between her daughter's lips. Adaeze swallowed weakly, and Nnenna laid her back down. Then she stood and walked to the chief's room with the remaining medicine. Chukwuebuka's eyes were closed, his chest barely moving. I'm giving your son half, Nnenna told the chief. If this kills him, I accept whatever judgment you pass on me. Chief Okonkwo's face was a mask of anguish, but he stepped aside. Nnenna administered the second half of the medicine to Chukwuebuka. The young man swallowed reflexively, then went still. The entire village held its breath. Minutes passed like hours. No one moved. No one spoke. They waited for life or death to declare the winner. Nnenna sat between the two rooms, her eyes closed, her lips moving in silent prayer to every ancestor, every god, every spirit that might be listening. Please, she whispered. If I have served you faithfully, if my hands have healed more than they've harmed, grant me this. Let them both live. Show us that mercy is stronger than sacrifice. Mom Ngozi touched her shoulder. Nnenna, Adaeze. Nnenna's heart stopped. She's breathing stronger, Mom Ngozi finished, tears streaming down her face. Her fever is breaking. From the chief's room came a gasp. Then a cough. Then Chief Okonkwo's voice, shaking with disbelief. He's waking up. My son is waking up. The crowd erupted in confused joy. People rushed to both rooms to see for themselves. It was true. Against all medical knowledge, against all logic, both Adaeze and Chukwuebuka were improving. Their fevers dropped. Their breathing steadied. Color returned to their skin. Elder Nwankwo fell to his knees. The gods have spoken. Nnenna sat motionless, unable to process what had happened. She had gambled everything on faith, and somehow, impossibly, won. Adaeze's eyes fluttered open. Mama? Nnenna scrambled to her daughter's side, crushing her in an embrace. You're alive. You're alive. Did you give me all the medicine? Adaeze asked weakly. No, Nwam. I gave you half. I gave the chief's son the other half. Adaeze's eyes widened. Half? That shouldn't have worked. I know. Then why did you do it? Nnenna cupped her daughter's face. Because you were willing to die for the village. And the village was willing to let you die for them. But I'm your mother. I don't accept impossible choices. I make possible what others say cannot be. Chukwuebuka appeared in the doorway, supported by his father. He was weak but conscious, his eyes clear. He looked at Adaeze, then at Nnenna. You saved us both, he said in wonder. The ancestors saved you both, Nnenna corrected. I just refused to be the one who chose death. Chief Okonkwo approached slowly, then prostrated himself fully before Nnenna. You are the greatest healer Umuahia has ever known. Not because of your medicine, but because of your heart. You saw a third way when we all saw only two paths. Elder Nwankwo stepped forward, his staff planted in the ground. I was wrong to demand you choose. You have taught us all a lesson today. Sometimes faith is stronger than logic. Sometimes love finds a way that duty cannot see. The crowd murmured in agreement, many openly weeping. Mom Ngozi embraced Nnenna. You terrified us. But you were right. I wasn't sure I was right, Nnenna admitted. I just knew I couldn't live with either other choice. Over the next 3 days, both Adaeze and Chukwuebuka recovered fully. The half-doses, combined with their young strong bodies and perhaps the favor of the ancestors, had been exactly enough. The village called it a miracle. Nnenna called it a mother's refusal to surrender. On the 4th day, as Adaeze sat outside their compound braiding her hair, Chukwuebuka approached with his father. I owe you my life, he said to Adaeze. We owe each other, Adaeze replied. And we owe my mother everything. Chukwuebuka turned to Nnenna. When I become chief, I will remember this day. I will remember that the best leaders don't force impossible choices. They find third ways. See what you do, Nnenna said. Because what I did was reckless. It could have killed you both. It only worked because the gods were merciful, or lucky, or both. Don't mistake a miracle for a method. But you tried, the young man insisted. When everyone else accepted the impossible choice, you alone said no. That matters. Chief Okonkwo placed a hand on Nnenna's shoulder. The alliance with Nsukka holds. The village is safe. And both these young people live. However it happened, Umuahia owes you a debt beyond measure. Then pay it by never asking a mother to choose between her child and her duty again, Nnenna said firmly. Agreed, the chief said. From this day forward, we seek third ways. We reject impossible choices. That will be Adaeze's legacy to this village. Adaeze smiled. I like that better than dying for you all. Laughter rippled through the gathered crowd. Relief and joy mixed with lingering disbelief at what had happened. That evening, as the sun set over Umuahia, Nnenna sat by the river where herbalists had sought wisdom for generations. Mom and Ngozi joined her. "Do you think the ancestors really intervened?" Mom and Ngozi asked. "Or was it just luck?" Nnenna considered this. "Does it matter? Either way, both my children live. The chief's son lives. The village is safe. Whether by divine mercy or medical miracle or pure chance, we were given grace. You were brave. I was desperate. There's a difference." "No," Mom and Ngozi said firmly. "Desperate would have been choosing. Brave was refusing to choose and trusting something greater than yourself." Nnenna looked at her friend. "What if it hadn't worked? What if both had died?" "Then you would have died too, from grief and guilt," Mom and Ngozi said honestly. "But you would have died knowing you tried everything. That you refused to be the executioner." Nnenna nodded slowly. "I suppose that's something." They sat in comfortable silence as the river flowed past, carrying the day's fears downstream and bringing tomorrow's hopes up. Behind them, Adaeze's laughter rang out as she played with village children. Alive. Healthy. Full of the future. Nnenna had gambled everything on faith and won. But she knew, deep in her healer's heart, that next time she might not be so blessed. Next time, the impossible choice might truly be impossible. But she also knew she would face it the same way. With defiance. With hope. With the stubborn belief that mothers don't have to choose which child dies. Sometimes, against all odds, love finds a third way. So here's the question for you watching this story. If you were Nnenna, would you have had the courage to split the medicine? To risk both lives on faith rather than guarantee one death? Or would you have made the practical choice and saved one for certain? There's no right answer, only the choice you could live with. Drop your decision in the comments below. Would you choose faith over certainty? Risk over guarantee? And if this story made your heart race, hit that subscribe button because we bring you impossible choices like this every single week. Smash the like button if you believed in Nnenna's courage. Share this with someone who needs to hear that sometimes there are third ways we're too afraid to see. Thank you for stepping into the story atlas. Until next time, choose bravely.